Well, the Apple iPhone's been in the market all of 1 week and now lands in more places starting today. In Japan, the first country to get the handset in North Asia, Fran has the very latest. And I understand that some people were camped out on the sidewalks overnight to be the first movers to land their paws on this nifty new pop culture device, Fran.
Exactly, Bernie, but you know, they did camp out, but guess what? The lines waiting to get the latest iPhone today at the flagship store in Tokyo were actually much shorter than last year. Compare 200 to 300 today to about 1,500 last year. And maybe the fact that the cultural necessities that the iPhone does not satisfy for Japanese consumers may be the reason why the lines are much shorter this time around.
Remember these scenes in Tokyo? It was nearly a year ago, and the launch of Apple's 3G phone set off a frenzy in tech-obsessed Japan, with fans lining up for hours to get the new gadget. The newest iPhone 3GS goes on sale here today. Even though it did better than expected in the U.S., that may not be the case in Japan. Analysts say that's because this phone is missing key features that the Japanese, it seems, just can't do without. Want to pay for a subway ride or a movie ticket? Can't do that on an iPhone. Nor can you watch TV. You also get a limited number of cartoon icons called emoji, which are popular with Japanese teenagers and women.
Even with that, the fact that the handset sales has not been so impressive, at least in Japan, is all the more telling that they're not really catering to the Japanese mobile people's needs.
Apple doesn't disclose sales figures, but a spokeswoman said the company's very happy with the consumer response in Japan.
Still, UBS estimates the iPhone to sell less than the 700,000 handsets it sold during its debut last year. Compare that with mega hits that sold at least 8 million handsets in Japan.
While a survey showed the iPhone was the fourth bestseller here during the past year, that's also when it was given away for free in exchange for a 2-year contract. The iPhone, which is distributed by SoftBank, may also face challenges this summer when rivals NTT Docomo and KDDI launch their new phones. NTT Docomo is releasing its Google Android phone with similar features as the iPhone, along with 18 other different models. KDDI, meanwhile, is set to launch 13 new phones. But this iPhone fan, like many worldwide, remain loyal. He says it's easier to type Japanese characters and has a better quality screen for viewing that national obsession, comics.
If you look up App Store, there are, like hundreds of new applications coming out every day. And the amount of fun you can have on an iPhone is much greater than Japanese phones.
So Bernie, it debuted in Japan today and in Australia, and it will also debut in Hong Kong in July, in Singapore, and in August, India, Thailand, and Indonesia will get their new iPhone 3GS. Bernie?
Actually, we have it here already, but it's the gray market parallel imports, and the little teenagers who are good with the welding solders and stuff, that take it apart and pull apart the SIM lock so they can install a local operator. Now, what are you using there? I think you're so young. You must you're with the Y generation. You're an iPhone freak, right?
Well, I don't. But this is a touchscreen phone, but it is a Korean maker, and I bought it because not because I need all the functions, but because I want to be patriotic. So that's why I picked it. But I don't even use half the functions on this phone, actually, to be honest.
Phone. Well, you're patriotic and your motherland loves you. What does Ed use? What's he holding next to you? I understand he's a bit of a Luddite when it comes to telco
Ed, what are you using?
Technology.
Come on, let's see the phone.
It's a 10-year-old phone. And when I want to call people,
my God.
When I want to call people, I can call them, and when they want to call me, they call me. We were just discussing this. I am a Luddite when it comes to phones, really because my laptop, my desk at home, my desk at my office, etc. That's all state of the art. This is just a communication device for me. I will point out though that 10 years ago when I got this, Japan was well far advanced. Frankly, as far as the applications that were available, and I think the Japanese consumers are frankly quite used to a much higher level of standard of offering. And it's harder to get them into the store to buy stuff. You have to have a real significant upgrade as far as, like you said, the sort of the 15-year-old girl who needs 18,000 different functions and is going to use them all every day. Sorry.
And all these cute icons, the cartoon characters like Fran was talking about. What is the attractiveness of TMT to you? right now. There's a big war going on. You do know this, right? The Palm is back with the Pre. My God, they came up from the ashes. Apple, of course. BlackBerry. This is already a dinosaur. The Bold. They're going to be pushing out the new. The Tour. Very, very soon. There's a certain homogeneity here, isn't there? I mean, we can get probably 95% of the functions and do pretty much the same thing, maybe without the cartoon characters here and there. But it's becoming almost like a laptop or a netbook kind of environment in some ways.
The importance of this and the importance of why people still line up and spend the night to go and buy one of these. Let's not talk about the individual companies. Let's talk about the concept of innovation. Let's talk about what technology still does for people at the corporate level and at the investor level. We think that's critically important. We still see, people can come out with new phones that people do line up for the applications and the access to that applications. In general, thematically, we think that it's very, very important that the world continues to move forward. And it will always, there will be some source of technological innovation that will drive consumer purchases. That's the important takeaway here.
Okay. And Fran is dying to get in a question to you before we wrap up this phone segment. Fran, go for it.
So, Ed, do you have any expectations or any plans to change your phone to a more tech-advanced one? Because you live in a tech-advanced country, yeah?
No. Sorry, it's the wrong answer, but this phone does everything I need it to, and I am a cost-conscious guy, so I'm not going to spend a penny more than I have to simply to make phone calls.
Good on you, Ed. And Fran, you know what the answer is? I was using a 2G monochrome phone up until about 5 months ago, and now that I got the BlackBerry, everybody wants an answer instantaneously, 24/7, 365 days a year. My life ended as I knew it 5 years ago.